Reece's rescue mission for Trinity turned into a nightmare, the warlocks trapping them with illusions of their deepest fears. They escaped, but Trinity remains lost. How did the warlocks know their fears? What did the Guardian's warning, "Beware the mirrored path," mean? They now head to an ancient warlock enclave, hoping for answers. What new traps await them there? Will they find Trinity, or be consumed by their own anxieties? The journey to the eastern cliffs was grueling. They were walking straight into another warlock-infested territory, and this time, Reece was ready, his senses heightened, his resolve steel-clad. Elias was the first to sense the subtle shift in the magical weave. He raised a hand, signaling them to stop, his eyes scanning the treacherous terrain. "We're here," he announced, his voice low and grave. Juniper rolled her shoulders, loosening the tension in her muscles. "So what are we looking for?" she asked, her voice sharp and focused. Elias glanced at Reece, his expression grim. "Anything that tells us where they took her." Reece exhaled sharply, the breath catching in his throat. "Then let's get to work," he said, his voice laced with determination. He couldn't afford to hesitate. Trinity's life depended on them. They split into pairs. Vincent and Noah, the pragmatists, tasked with scanning the outer perimeter, searching for any sign of recent activity. Juniper, Elias, and Reece moved into the heart of the ruins, where the echoes of the past were strongest. Inside, the air was thick with memories, the weight of centuries pressing down on them. The walls bore old runes, flickering with residual magic, like embers in a dying fire. Elias ran his fingers along the cold stone, whispering an incantation, his voice a low, rhythmic chant. A shimmer of energy pulsed beneath his touch, revealing faint echoes of the past, fragmented images of rituals and dark ceremonies. A voice drifted through the chamber, a whisper, distorted and eerie, like a phantom caught in a breeze. "She was never meant to be found," it hissed, the words echoing through the desolate space. Reece's breath hitched, his heart pounding in his chest. "That's warlock magic, a memory trap," he said, his voice tight. Elias nodded grimly, his eyes dark. "And it means we're close." They wanted to leave a warning. Vincent and Noah, meanwhile, had found the first real clue. A trail of old blood leading away from the ruins, dried and nearly erased by time, a faint stain against the gray stone. But it wasn't human blood. The scent was alien, metallic, and charged with magic. Noah knelt, touching the ground, his fingers tracing the faint trail. "This isn't an animal kill. This was deliberate," he said, his voice grave. Vincent frowned, his brow furrowed in concentration. "A sacrifice?" Noah's jaw tightened, his eyes narrowed. "Or a marking, a way to track someone through magic, a beacon." Vincent's stomach twisted, a cold dread settling within him. "You mean they're tracking her?" Noah exhaled sharply, his expression grim. "Or she's the one being used to track something else, something far worse." Elias froze suddenly, his body rigid as his mind touched the remnants of the magic embedded in the ruins, delving deeper into the psychic imprints. He saw glimpses of twisted forms, of dark rituals and unfathomable power. Then his eyes snapped open, horror flashing across his face, his skin pale. "We need to leave, now," he said, his voice urgent. Reece grabbed his arm, his grip firm. "What did you see?" Elias shook his head, his eyes wide with fear. "Not here. We have to move before they realize we've been watching, before they close the trap." Juniper's expression hardened, her daggers gleaming in the dim light. "Who?" Elias swallowed hard, his throat dry. "The ones who took Trinity aren't just warlocks. There's something worse, something cursed." The moment the words left his mouth, the ground trembled beneath them, the ancient stones groaning in protest. The air crackled with malevolent energy, and the warlocks, or whatever they were, found them first. Shadows erupted from the ruins, figures cloaked in darkness moving faster than the eye could track, their forms shifting and blurring like phantoms. Spells crackled through the air, slamming into stone, sending debris flying in all directions. Reece shifted mid-motion, his claws slashing through the nearest attacker, a dark shape that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. But something was wrong. Their magic didn't just attack. It latched on, draining, pulling, leeching away his strength. Vincent shouted as one of them grabbed his arm, its grip like iron. His body jerked violently, his energy draining away before Reece tore the warlock off him, the creature hissing in frustration. "They're siphoning us," Elias yelled, his voice strained. Don't let them touch you. Juniper cursed, driving her daggers into one's chest, the blades sinking deep. But instead of falling, the warlock only grinned, its eyes glowing with malevolent light, its body absorbing the attack like it had never happened, the wounds closing instantly. Reece's mind raced, adrenaline coursing through his veins. They weren't just fighting warlocks. They were fighting something that couldn't die, something that fed on their magic, their very essence. Who were these dark creatures? Why did they want Trinity? And would anyone get out alive?
Hey, I am Trinity. Want to know what happens next? Then click the link in the description below and download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of Chosen by Fate, Rejected by the Alpha.